15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to zero.
Our numbers are lower than just about anybody.
I'd love to have it open by Easter. You know it is going away. We've done, I think, on average, really phenomenally. And you had doctors saying that we've done an incredible job. I think what happens is it's going to go away. This is going to go away. This virus is going to disappear. This is going to go away without a vaccine. It's going to go away, and we're not going to see it again, hopefully. We have met the moment, and we have prevailed. It'll go away at some point. It'll go away. Many of these people aren't very sick, but they still go down as a case. We were able to cut it off, stop it, just like this. And it is dying out. The numbers are starting to get very good. And now it's time to open up, get back to work. The coronavirus, that's going to sort of just disappear, I hope. We show cases, 99% of which are totally harmless. We're not closing, we'll never close. We want to stay open, and we will stay open. We're not closing. We have to get our schools open and stop this political nonsense. You're losing a lot of lives by keeping things closed.
We're losing a lot of lives because of you, bitch-ass lying motherfucker. Everything that came out of that fat orange peasant's mouth are straight up bullshit, racist, idiotic.
Because they wanted to fund the police, and Biden wants to fund the police.
Sir, he does not.
Look, he signed a charter with Bernie Sanders.
It says nothing about defunding the police.
Oh, really? It says abolish, it says defund. Let's go.
All right.
Give me the charter, please.
All right. So that led to a very interesting exchange where he had his staff go out and get the highlights from that 100-page compact that the Biden team and the Trump team, rather the Biden team and the Sanders team had signed. And he went through it and he found a lot of things that he objected to that Biden has agreed to, but he couldn't find any indication, because there isn't any, that Joe Biden has sought to defund and abolish the police.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person. I'm the super genius of all time.
Donald Trump loves to brag about how smart and mentally fit he is.
President Trump revealing that he took a cognitive test.
I aced the test. Doctors, that's an unbelievable thing. Rarely does anybody do what you just did.
The truth, Don is dumb.
I had a mask on. I sort of liked the way I looked. Looked like the Lone Ranger.
Former Defense Secretary Jim Mattis claims Donald Trump has the understanding of a 5th or 6th grader. Former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly called Trump an idiot. And Rex Tillerson?
You still haven't denied that you called him a moron.
As president, he's failed at every subject. His handle on history?
1775. Our army ran the ramparts. It took over the airports.
What about English?
I had the best words. Shock rocket. Stink singer. Bipartisan solutions. I tested positively toward negative.
His grasp on geography is no better.
We're building a wall in Colorado.
Colorado?
Belgium is a beautiful city.
When it comes to science, Trump's arrogance and stupidity are now killing us on a mass scale.
Relax. It's going to sort of just disappear. I feel good about it. Oh, it is just a feeling. We're very much going to put pressure on governors to open the schools.
Is the man who has failed at everything, who you want making decisions for your child's future.
Biden beats you in that.
Well, I tell you what, let's take a test. Let's take a test right now. Let's go down. Joe and I will take a test. Let him take the same test that I took.
Incidentally, I took the test too when I heard that you passed it.
Yeah, how did you do it?
Well, it's not the hardest test.
No, but
it has a picture and it says what's that, and it's an elephant.
No. You see, that's all misrepresentation.
Well, that's what it was on the web.
It's all misrepresentation. Because, yes, the first few questions are easy, but I'll bet you couldn't even answer the last 5 questions. I'll bet you couldn't. They get very hard, the last 5 questions.
Well, one of them was come back from 100 by 7.
And let me tell you, you couldn't answer.
All right, what's the question?
Many of the questions. I just look at school. I watch. I read.
The dickhead doesn't give a fuck. He's not good at being a goddamn presidential leader. The only thing he's good at is getting everybody killed by making all these filthy lies.
Would you like to respond to Joe Biden, who today described you might have heard that, as the first racist to be elected president? That was his words.
Well, it's interesting because we did criminal justice reform. We passed criminal justice reform, something that Obama and Biden were unable to do. We did opportunity cities. We did the greatest. If you look at what we've done with opportunity zones, nobody's ever even thought of a plan like that. Prior to the China plague coming into our country and really doing terrible things all over the world, doing terrible things. We had the best African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, almost every group was the best for unemployment. The unemployment numbers were the best. You look at employment, you look at opportunity zones, and maybe most importantly, you look at criminal justice reform, you look at prison reform. I've done things that nobody else, and I've said this, and I say it openly, and not a lot of people dispute it. I've done more for black Americans than anybody, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. Nobody has even been close. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
And yet people still believe this fucking dumbass clown. Right now California has surpassed the most cases than New York. So for where I'm from, I'm basically fucked sooner or later. So who should we vote next in the 2020 election? Trump is a huge joke. I don't know what's good about Biden. There are many bad things about him. Not only that, I just can't trust the Democrats. They had been manipulating people for years. Kanye West, aka the rapper, now running for president, doesn't sound like a good idea. Especially after this post on Instagram. I don't really like to vote for these three fuckers. If anything, I would rather vote The Rock.
So, if that were to happen in a 2024, 2028, I would have to go to work and get some experience, you know, and understand policy.
And give it 110%.
Give it 100. I would go back to
because it's either president or used cars.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, I was going to say.
Or perhaps Red Foreman.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Or better yet, Jimmy Fungus. He'll be the perfect president. But all jokes aside, be careful who to vote for this year. And remember to stay safe from the coronavirus, aka the Trump virus. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.